There's a quiet mistake you might be making every single day, one that feels harmless, familiar, even comforting. It's sitting on your plate right now. Bread, rice, pasta, foods you've trusted your whole life. But what if I told you that the way you eat them could be silently accelerating aging inside your body, spiking your blood sugar, exhausting your cells, and setting the stage for diseases that don't appear until it's too late to ignore? And the most unsettling part? No one ever really explains this to you. Not in a way that makes you stop and truly see what's happening inside your body. Because you don't feel it immediately. There's no sharp pain, no alarm, just a slow, invisible shift, like a dimmer switch turning down your energy, your clarity, your vitality, day by day. You wake up feeling slightly more tired than you used to. You notice your weight doesn't move the way it once did. Your mind feels a little foggier, your body a little heavier, but you brush it off. You tell yourself, this is just aging. But what if it's not? What if it's something much quieter, much more preventable? Welcome to Healthy Aging with Dr. Emily Carter, where we don't just talk about living longer, we talk about protecting the life inside your years. If you've ever felt like your body is changing in ways you don't fully understand, or you suspect there's more to your health than what you've been told, then you're in the right place. And if something in you is already whispering that this matters, take a moment to subscribe. Not for me, but for the version of you that still wants to feel strong, clear, and fully alive. Because today, we're going to uncover a truth that most people never hear. You've been told that carbs are the problem, that bread is bad, rice is dangerous, pasta is something to avoid, especially as you get older. And maybe at some point, you tried to cut them out. You forced yourself into diets that felt restrictive, unnatural, even lonely. You sat at tables where everyone else enjoyed their meals, while you quietly said no, hoping it would protect your health. But deep down, something didn't feel right. Because these foods, they're not the enemy. The real danger is how you eat them. Let me take you somewhere familiar. It's morning. You wake up, maybe a little rushed. You grab a piece of toast or a bowl of cereal, something quick, something easy. You eat it on autopilot. No pause, no awareness. Within an hour, you feel it. That subtle crash. Your energy dips. Your focus slips. You feel hungry again, even though you just ate. So you reach for something else. Maybe a snack. Maybe tea with sugar. Maybe another piece of bread. And without realizing it, you've entered a cycle. A spike, followed by a crash. Again and again. What you're feeling in those moments is your blood sugar rising rapidly, then falling just as fast. And every time that happens, your body pays a price. Your pancreas works harder. Your cells become less responsive. Inflammation quietly builds. And over time, this repeated stress begins to wear you down, from the inside out. But here's the part no one slows down enough to explain. It's not just what you ate. It's how you ate it. The same piece of bread, the same bowl of rice, can either nourish you or harm you, depending on the context in which it enters your body. Think of your body like a fire. When you add small, steady pieces of wood, the fire burns calmly, consistently, giving you warmth and energy that lasts. But when you throw in a pile of dry leaves all at once, the fire flares up, intense, uncontrolled, and then quickly dies down, leaving you with nothing but smoke and ash. That's what happens with blood sugar. Simple, isolated carbs, eaten quickly, on an empty stomach, are like those dry leaves. They ignite a rapid spike. But when those same carbs are combined, balanced, slowed down by other nutrients, they behave completely differently. And this is where everything changes. Imagine eating that same rice, but this time alongside healthy fats, protein, fiber. Imagine eating it slowly, consciously, allowing your body to process it gradually. Now, instead of a spike, you get a gentle rise. Instead of a crash, you get sustained energy. Instead of stress, your body feels supported. It's the difference between chaos and control. But most people are never taught this. They're told to fear food instead of understanding it. And fear leads to extremes. Either you overindulge because it feels comforting, or you restrict because you're trying to protect yourself. But both paths disconnect you from your body. What you need is awareness. Because your body isn't fragile. It's incredibly intelligent. It knows how to handle carbohydrates when you give it the right conditions. But when you don't, it adapts in ways that slowly work against you. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Have you ever eaten a meal that should have given you energy, but instead left you feeling heavier? Have you ever noticed that after certain foods, your mood changes, your patience shortens, your clarity fades? That's not random. That's your biology speaking. And for years, you may have ignored it. Not because you didn't care, but because no one connected the dots for you. No one told you that the timing of your meals matters. That eating carbs late at night, when your body is less sensitive to insulin, can lead to higher blood sugar levels, even if the portion is small. No one explained that starting your meal with vegetables or protein can actually slow down how quickly glucose enters your bloodstream. No one showed you that something as simple as taking a short walk after eating can dramatically reduce blood sugar spikes. These are not complicated medical secrets. They are simple, powerful shifts. But they're rarely emphasized because they don't sell quick fixes. They require something deeper: attention. And that's something many people lose over time, not because they want to, but because life becomes repetitive. Meals become routine. Eating becomes automatic. You stop experiencing food and start consuming it. And in that disconnect, small mistakes become daily habits. Daily habits become patterns. And patterns quietly shape your health. But here's the truth that changes everything. You don't need to give up bread. You don't need to eliminate rice. You don't need to fear pasta. What you need is to learn how to eat them in a way your body understands. In a way that aligns with your biology, instead of fighting against it. Because aging is not just about time passing. It's about how your body responds to what you do every single day. And right now, whether you realize it or not, your body is responding. To every bite, to every habit, to every moment you choose convenience over awareness. But the moment you begin to see it differently, everything starts to shift. You begin to slow down. You begin to notice. You begin to reconnect with signals that have always been there, quietly guiding you. And that's where real change begins. Not in restriction, not in fear, but in understanding. Because once you understand, you don't need to fight your cravings. You don't need to punish yourself for enjoying food. You simply make better choices, naturally, effortlessly, because they make you feel better. And that feeling becomes your motivation. Not a rule, not a diet, but a quiet, internal knowing that you are taking care of yourself in a way that truly matters. In the next part, I'm going to show you the exact ways to eat bread, rice, and pasta so they stop spiking your blood sugar and start supporting your energy, your metabolism, and your long-term health. Some of these will surprise you. Some will challenge what you've always believed. But all of them will give you back a sense of control you may have thought was lost. And this is where things begin to shift, not with restriction, but with quiet, precise awareness. Because once you understand what's really happening inside your body, you realize something almost unsettling. You were never lacking discipline. You were lacking the right sequence. You see, your body doesn't just react to what you eat. It reacts to what comes first. Imagine this. You sit down to eat. There's a plate of rice in front of you. Maybe some bread on the side. You're hungry, so naturally, you reach for the carbs first. It's soft, comforting, easy to eat. Within minutes, it's gone. And in that moment, your blood sugar rises quickly, sharply, like a wave hitting the shore with force. But now, let's rewind that same scene. Same plate, same food, same hunger. Only this time, you begin differently. You take a few bites of vegetables first. Maybe something with fiber, something slightly bitter or fresh. Then you add protein, eggs, chicken, lentils, something that requires your body to slow down, to work. And only then, you reach for the rice, the bread, the pasta. Now something remarkable happens inside you. The spike softens. The rise becomes gradual. Your body, instead of being overwhelmed, feels prepared. Because fiber creates a kind of natural barrier, slowing the absorption of glucose. Protein signals your body to release hormones that stabilize blood sugar. And fats, they act like anchors, keeping everything steady, grounded. It's not complicated, but it is powerful. And most people never think about it because they've been taught to look at food in isolation. Calories, carbs, sugar. But your body doesn't experience food that way. It experiences meals as a sequence, a story unfolding in time. And when you change the order of that story, you change the outcome. Now let me show you something even deeper, something almost no one talks about. Temperature. Yes, even the temperature of your food can influence how your body responds to it. When certain carbohydrates like rice or pasta are cooked, then cooled, and sometimes even reheated, they form something called resistant starch. And this changes everything. Because resistant starch behaves less like sugar and more like fiber. It moves through your digestive system more slowly. It feeds beneficial gut bacteria. And most importantly, it reduces the spike in blood sugar that would normally follow. Think about that for a moment. The same rice, the same pasta, can have a completely different effect on your body simply based on how it's prepared. This is the kind of quiet detail that never makes headlines, but has a profound impact on your health over time. And yet, most people are never told. Instead, they're given simplified rules. Don't eat carbs. Avoid bread. But the truth is more nuanced, more human than that. You don't need to eliminate. You need to understand. Now, let's talk about speed. Not the kind you measure on a clock, but the kind you feel in your habits. How fast do you eat? Really think about it. Do you sit with your food, or do you rush through it? Because the faster you eat, the less time your body has to respond properly. Your brain doesn't register fullness. Your digestive system doesn't prepare. And your blood sugar rises more rapidly as a result. But when you slow down, even slightly, everything begins to change. Your body anticipates. Hormones adjust. Digestion becomes smoother, more efficient. And without even changing what's on your plate, you've already reduced the impact it has on your blood sugar. It's subtle, but over days, weeks, years, it becomes the difference between stability and stress. Now there's another moment most people overlook. What happens after you eat? Because for many, the meal ends, and then comes stillness. Sitting, lying down, scrolling, resting. It feels harmless, even deserved. But inside your body, something very different is happening. Glucose enters your bloodstream, waiting to be used. And if your muscles are inactive, that glucose lingers, building, rising, placing more demand on your insulin. But when you move, even gently, something incredible happens. Your muscles begin to absorb that glucose, almost like sponges. They use it for energy, reducing the amount circulating in your blood. It doesn't require intensity. Just a simple walk, 10 minutes, 15 at most. A quiet movement after a meal can dramatically change your blood sugar response. And yet, how often is this emphasized? Almost never. Because again, it's simple. And simple things are often overlooked. Now, let's go even deeper into something that might surprise you. Your emotional state while eating. Have you ever eaten while stressed? Distracted? Anxious? Of course you have. We all have. But what you may not realize is that your body processes food differently when you're in that state. Stress hormones, like cortisol, can actually raise your blood sugar, even before the food fully digests. Your body enters a kind of alert mode where it's less focused on digestion and more on survival. So even a balanced meal, eaten in a tense, distracted state, can lead to a higher spike than the same meal eaten calmly. This is not about perfection. It's about awareness. Even taking a single breath before you eat, slowing down for just a moment, can shift your body into a state where it processes food more effectively. It's a small act, but it carries weight. Because everything you do before, during, and after a meal sends signals to your body. And those signals determine how your body responds. Now I want you to imagine something. Not a diet, not a restriction, but a different rhythm. You sit down to eat, not rushed, not distracted. You begin with fiber, then protein, then your carbs. You eat slowly, tasting each bite. Your food includes elements that support your body, not overwhelm it. Afterward, you move gently, even for a few minutes. And over time, something begins to change. Your energy stabilizes. Your cravings soften. Your mind clears. And perhaps most importantly, you begin to trust your body again. Because it's no longer reacting in chaos. It's responding in balance. And that balance is what protects you as you age. Not extreme diets. Not fear. But consistent, mindful habits that align with how your body was designed to function. In the final part, we're going to bring this all together. I'll show you simple, real-life meal patterns, small combinations you can use every day without giving up the foods you love. And more importantly, I'll reveal the one hidden mistake that silently cancels out all these benefits, something many people do without realizing, even when they think they're eating healthy. And now, we come to the part most people never see coming. Because by this point, you might be thinking, I understand now. I'll change the order. I'll slow down. I'll walk after meals. I'll be more aware. And that's powerful. But there is one quiet mistake, one subtle habit that can undo almost everything we've just talked about. It hides in plain sight. It wears the disguise of healthy. And because of that, people trust it. They rely on it. They even feel proud of it. But inside your body, it tells a very different story. Let me take you there. You decide to eat better. You choose whole grains, brown bread instead of white, maybe oatmeal, maybe a bowl of rice with vegetables. You've done everything right. But alongside it, there's something else. A drink. It could be fruit juice. It could be sweetened tea. It could even be something labeled as natural, low fat, or no added sugar. And you sip it without thinking, because it feels harmless. But this is where the problem begins. Liquid sugar, even when it comes from something natural, enters your bloodstream faster than almost anything else. It doesn't require chewing. It doesn't slow down. It bypasses many of the natural signals your body uses to regulate intake. So while you believe you're eating a balanced meal, your blood sugar is already rising, faster than your body can comfortably handle. And what makes this so dangerous is not just the spike itself. It's the illusion. Because you think you're doing well. You think you're making progress. But your body is still under stress. This is the hidden mistake. The one that quietly cancels out the benefits of food order, of slowing down, of careful choices. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Now, this doesn't mean you can never enjoy something sweet. It means you begin to understand when and how it fits into your body's rhythm. Because timing matters more than you think. If you consume something sweet right after a balanced meal, when fiber, protein, and fats are already present, the impact is softened. The spike is reduced. But when it's consumed alone, or alongside already fast-digesting carbs, it amplifies the effect. It turns a gentle wave into a sharp surge. And over time, these surges add up. They wear down your system, slowly, quietly, until one day, your body begins to resist insulin. Your energy becomes unpredictable, and conditions like pre-diabetes or diabetes begin to take shape, often without clear warning. This is how it happens. Not overnight, but through small, repeated patterns that feel normal until they're not. Now I want to bring everything together for you, not as rules, but as a way of living. A way that feels natural, sustainable, human. Picture your next meal. There's no fear, no restriction, just awareness. You begin with something simple, vegetables, maybe a salad, something that prepares your body. Then you add protein, something grounding, something that signals stability. Then you enjoy your carbs, your bread, your rice, your pasta. But now they're part of a sequence, not the starting point. You eat slowly. You breathe. You notice when your body begins to feel satisfied, not full to the point of discomfort, but nourished. And when the meal ends, you don't collapse into stillness. You move, gently, naturally. Even a few minutes is enough to shift your body into balance. And over time, this becomes your rhythm. Not something forced, but something that feels right. Because your body responds. You feel it. Mornings become clearer. Afternoons, more stable. Evenings, calmer. The cravings that once felt uncontrollable begin to fade because your body is no longer trapped in that cycle of spikes and crashes. It's steady, supported, resilient. And this is where aging begins to feel different. Not like a slow decline, but like a process you are actively shaping. Because every meal, every choice, becomes an opportunity, not to be perfect, but to be aware, to support your body instead of confusing it, to work with it instead of against it. And maybe the most powerful realization of all is this: you were never broken. Your body was never failing you. It was responding exactly as it was designed to, based on the signals it received. And now you're changing those signals, quietly, consistently, in ways that may seem small, but carry profound impact over time. So the next time you sit down to eat, pause, just for a moment. Look at your plate, not with fear, but with understanding. Because in that moment, you are not just eating. You're deciding how you will feel tomorrow, how your body will age, how much energy, clarity, and strength you will carry into the years ahead. And that decision happens more often than you think, in the quiet, ordinary moments, where no one is watching, but everything is changing.